How goes it? All right, we got more people coming in. I see Miss Jamila ready to go and her Darion hoodie. What is that? What you got on?
When you
Hi.
at your parents' house for the holidays, you be finding gems that you didn't know you had.
Wow, a throwback Sean John. Oh my goodness. You looked off to
Love
the side, you're like,
It was like, I like the pattern. We're gonna pretend it don't say Sean John though.
you know, we're gonna say that's Darion, House of Darion.
Okay, exactly.
If you know, you know. If you don't, you're not a real Beyonce fan. I just want to say that.
Exactly.
All
Uh,
right. Well, we have our members coming in here. Excited to get you guys back. We still have some more joining. So, as the people are joining, let me introduce you guys to my good friend, Jamila. So me and Jamila go way back. I first met Jamila when we were both working on the same artist. The artist that I was working on at that time was VanJess. So I brought them, they were signed to this joint venture called Keep Cool, which was, if you guys know Tunji, who is now the CEO of Def Jam, that was his like joint venture or label with RCA. So the way that if you guys know what LVRN is, LVRN is a joint venture with Interscope. That's the same thing. Like Tunji had the same thing, but it was with RCA called Keep Cool. And so I was working on this sister duo R&B group called VanJess. And we were working on what we didn't know at the time, but what would eventually end up being their last project together. So I miss VanJess. I know I miss them. Those sisters are, now pursuing individual careers. But yeah, I will always have a special place in my heart for VanJess. Them as a group together, absolutely. But that is the first time that me and Jamila actually met and started working together. If thank you. Wait, let me wait. Pause for the fashion. Robert just commented on my hat, so I have to show y'all the whole thing. I just made this weekend. Getting back in my
oh,
crochet bag.
period.
Yes, a little. uh, the next one that I make, though, the next one I make is gonna be even better. I'm gonna make it even tighter so that you guys can see like the chevron pattern more. I'm excited. You guys aren't the only ones who is creative. I'm creative too. Um, literally when I made it, I was like, I don't know where I'm going wearing this. Like I'm gonna probably just wear it around the house. But look, like most of my work is at the house, so getting some great use already. Anyways, so that's where me and Jamila first crossed paths. Like I said, our last guest expert, Denise, me and her worked together when I was with Wiz Khalifa and Taylor Gang, and she was like, "Oh, you're about to like be working with Jamila. She's great." Like she was like already telling me about
Yeah.
Jamila and everything before we even started working. Because if y'all don't know, like you and your PM, like if like as a manager, like you're besties. Like you, it's like we should not meet for the first time on the introductory call. We should already be talking to each other because I have so much that I need to tell you about this artist, their vision, what they have, all of that. So before we even got on the first official label call, me and Jamila got together. So a PM is it stands for, it could be project manager, it could be product manager. Also a lot of marketing directors, they are PMs on projects and stuff too. So a PM isn't necessarily your title, even if that is your role. So, so yeah, that was where we first crossed paths. And honestly, girl, until you like sent me this bio, I didn't even know everything that you have done. So, do you want to give us a quick little, short introduction?
So hey, thank you for that intro. That was beautiful.
Yes.
Um, I have done everything basically. So I started in the music industry working as a writer. Actually, I wrote for this music blog during the blog era called thisisrnb.com. I was very early on, like Kaylani, HER, Chloe and Halle, um, hella people. That was me. I was in the weeds, 7th Streeter, everybody. Um, and from there, I ended up, I'm from Atlanta, so I worked in the studios in Atlanta. I worked at Grand Hustle, and that led me to my first job at Atlantic Records. At Atlantic Records, I did digital marketing. My first two projects that I like led by myself were Dirty Computer by Janelle Monáe and Crush by Ravyn Lenae. So I led digital marketing for those, and then over time, I kind of became known as the R&B girl. So I worked with every all the R&B artists at Atlantic, with the exception of Kaylani, because she was signed to a JV called APG. We could talk about it later. But I worked Janelle,
Also,
Tank.
side note, my best friend Danielle Pierre Lewis is who got Kaylani signed to APG, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh, period. Okay. Yeah, who did I work? I worked Janelle, Ravyn Lenae, Tank, a little bit on Trey songs, Missy Elliott, Pink Sweats, Simba, who's from the Bay. He's not a singer, but an amazing rapper. Um, I worked Insecure soundtracks. I worked T-Mar, who was Issa Rae's first signing to her label, and some other people. That's the short version of Atlantic. I worked there for like 4 years. And so over the course of my time working there, I worked like 20 something artists. So yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
years in the music industry are like dog years.
yeah.
Like you look back at it, you're like, I was only there for 2 years. It felt like
Yeah.
14 years off my life. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I remember sitting in meetings trying to sign Pink Sweats because Honesty had gone viral. And y- I was so excited to work that project. And then we made At My Worst go platinum and viral. So, we did our job. And then from Atlantic, I left during the pandemic, so like 2021. I went to RCA and I worked obviously VanJess, Buddy. I worked Usher during his Vegas residency. Um, I worked BJ the Chicago Kid, Victoria Monet, Samaria, also for the Bay. Y'all will learn quickly. I have this real like love obsession with the Bay Area and people from the Bay.
I
Um,
mean,
yeah,
hello.
Jazz is a perfect example. Um,
We're cool.
yes, y'all are the best. This who else did I work at RCA? I worked Sir. I worked um I know I'm forgetting people, y'all. Safe.
It's okay, Sistifer. Remember, I tried to like put your
Yeah.
history
Yeah.
in
And
20 swipes, and this is why I was like, 20 slides is not enough. Like,
yeah,
it's so
no.
much.
That's the people that this is how you know these are the people that stood out to me. Those are the ones that came to mind first. And then also after RCA, I left, and I guess I should explain the distinction. So at Atlantic, I was doing digital marketing. So that's everything that touches the internet, your website, your social media, helping with like your D2C. And D2C is just like your merch sales online and how to get that out there. Um,
Is D2C
Also,
direct to consumer?
yes, direct to consumer. Yeah,
Mhm.
so vinyls, hoodies, posters, all that kind of stuff. Because especially when I was at Atlantic, um, D2C marketing was really important because, that was the beginning of the whole bundles thing when artists started. dropping their albums, and you could order the album, a hoodie, and a signed poster, and that counted as an album sale. Yeah, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
sick of that. And what else is digital marketing? Digital marketing is also just like coming up with content creation, coming up with strategy for when to post, also coming up with ways for engagement. And I'll speak on that later, but that's so important to the whole digital marketing landscape. And then, of course, digital advertising. Um, so that's what I did at Atlantic. And then when I got to RCA, I did project management, which is like just the marketing lead for the project. And I worked hand in hand with the artist and their manager to make sure that their vision is communicated well throughout the entire building. Because if you are to get signed to a distributor or a label, you need that one person that's going to be able to um, clarify what the artist's vision is to the entire team, because the building is huge and can be intimidating for a lot of artist teams. um,
A lot of
and
departments, and as
yeah,
an artist you don't know what they're supposed to be doing, and the label's not going to tell you either. Like that, they're not going to just
exactly.
like offer unless you're like, you know what I'm saying, like Beyonce, like super great, had a number one single and they're rolling out the red carpet because they really want you to sign. You have to figure out like, who are my people? Why don't I have this? What's a global team? What's this? That's that. So that's why I said being best friends with your PM as a manager, like that was always very important for me because you're the person that's going to get shit done. And if shit can't get done, you're going to tell me why. And then we're going to tell the artist together.
Yeah, that's literally exactly how it happens every single time.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so I was a PM at RCA, and I used a lot of my digital marketing experience to inform my project manager life. And then after RCA, I left and went to Warner to do digital marketing, and there I worked. My two biggest artists were Alex Isley and Teddy Swims. But I also worked a lot of developing artists. Honestly, most of the artists at Warner are developing. So that was fun to me. That's anybody from they have this artist that I think is really good. Their name is Jamin. I was working him. I mean, he's still very, very new. Um, but also I had Earl Sweatshirt. Love Earl Sweatshirt's team. He has a woman manager. Love that. Yes. And who else did I work? Sweetie and NLE Choppa, who now wants to go by NLE the Great. Like, it's a lot, but that's another conversation. So yeah, so I was doing that there, and I have since left Warner to like pursue personal interests, but I do a combination of both project management and digital marketing for artists I work with. Um, that is the lowdown. And to ground everything, y'all, I am from Atlanta, but I love Miami. I went to college in Miami. I lived in New York. I currently live in LA now. I'm just in Atlanta to visit parents for right now. Um, but where I've lived and the people I know also have shaped how I do marketing as well. So just to give some context. But yeah, that is me. That is me.
Yes, girl. Listen, I knew I wouldn't do an introduction justice because there's no way that you can put your career into like a clear, concise paragraph. So I'm happy that you took us down that because I didn't even know you started as a writer. I didn't even know you started with the blogs. Like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. But I'm excited what you have prepared, the seminar that you have prepared for our good, lovely people today. So just to give you guys an overview, um, Jamila is going to be talking about influencer marketing versus content seeding. She's going to be talking about content creation tips and tricks. She'll talk about social platform optimization. She's going to touch on digital advertising. Do you need it? And where's the best place to spend your money? She'll also tap on digital marketing. My favorite part, digital marketing is only as good as your branding. Y'all know I be getting on y'all about the branding. Oh, mama loves when her friends come on here and agree with her. So, and yeah, just like building community in real life and then social posting burnout and all of those great things. So, without further ado, I will pass Jamila the mic again, and the floor is yours. Thank you so much.
Okay, cool. Um, so this may be a little bit out of order, but the ideas of what I wanted to talk about are all related to each other. So, I think I want to start with the basics first, and then we'll get into all the other things. So, let's start with the social platform optimizations. I think that's something that everybody can do right now. You don't have to have music out to optimize your platforms. Um, so social media platform optimizations, every platform has their own like best practices. And I think, as casual users of social media, you forget that these best practices could make the world of a difference as an artist, a creative, whatever it is that you're putting out into the world. Um, and I'm just gonna kind of do like the big four, and the big four are Instagram, TikTok, Twitter/Threads, and YouTube. Those are the ones I think everybody should focus on the most. Um, so YouTube, I'll start with YouTube because I think YouTube's the easiest. YouTube, the best way to optimize your YouTube platform is one, make sure that your branding is on everything. And when I say branding, I mean like if you have a logo or a good photo that you use for your press releases or whatever your rollout is, take the extra 15 minutes to go on Canva, make a YouTube banner. Make sure the profile picture is like optimized to the sizing that YouTube suggests. Um, Make sure that you have a all your social links are actually linked on your channel. Make sure that when you post in your you can make preset YouTube descriptions. So make sure in your preset YouTube descriptions you have a link to the song and a link to your website and then a link to all of your social media. And then most importantly, everybody forgets this. Add the tags. Like you don't just put the YouTube video up. You got to add the tags both in the back settings when you upload it, but also add a few tags at the bottom of your YouTube description. Um, because that helps people pull in things. So I always say in the YouTube description, put like 3 to 4 tags, but on the back end, put as many tags as you want. Make sure you tag every misspelling of your name. Make sure you tag every misspelling of the song. Make sure you tag all of the artists that you think your music could be similar to. So, like, if you think you make music like Lucky Day, then you need to be putting in Lucky Day and Elmine and Giveon and Friday and all these people in your tags in the background because that does help with search capabilities on their platform. Um, those are like the big call outs. And then the other thing I always suggest that people forget as well is to make sure you add those end cards at the end of your video. It should always have the little subscribe here button at the end of your video and also just like a link to your most recent upload. Whether it's a playlist or just a specific video that you want to drive traffic to. Somebody has a question. Do you have a question?
Yes, it was me. I'm getting better at not interrupting people. So, tags is different than hashtags, right? Like this is the
Mhm.
section where it's like you could have like 500 tags. It's not just like
Yes.
hashtags in the video description. Okay, cool, cool, cool.
Yes.
Just wanted to clarify.
So hashtags go in the video description, regular tags go in the upload section. And YouTube will show you all of these things. A lot of people just skip it because they don't want to take the time to do it, but taking that extra 5 minutes to do it makes a world of a difference.
Or
Um,
just having like a preset tag list that you put
yes,
on, videos so that ready
yeah,
to go.
and YouTube is so much better than it was in 2017 when I was doing tags. So like now you can actually go to a previous video and they have a button where you can just copy all those tags and then paste it to your new video. That you used to have to pay extra to do stuff like that. They're giving that to you for free. So make sure you do that. So that's YouTube optimization. Um, Instagram optimization, honestly, is about, the one, again, make sure you have everything you need in your bio. Like, I love that people have like funny bios. That's cute. But also make sure you have a link to something, preferably your music. But if you have like a link in bio, like master link that takes you to everything, that works too. And Instagram lets you put up to like 3 links now, so you can put as many as you want. Yeah, like a link tree. Yeah. Um, I know in like the corporate label system we use link fire, but Linktree honestly is better in my opinion. You get to add more links. Yes, yes, it's the best thing ever. Um, so make sure you have a link in the bio. Make sure you have they have that song feature on Instagram now where you can add a song to your profile. So if you're promoting a new song, add that to your profile immediately. Easy peasy. And then also, when it comes to posting, I would always suggest video or slideshow. Those are your two options. No other option. Video or slideshow. Always post those because those are the two types of content that Instagram and Meta prioritizes through the feed. Um, and lastly, most importantly, it's just like how much, yes, as in a carousel. Yeah. Um, and the most important things are like posting consistency. Um, Instagram, if you ever sit down with a person from Instagram, they're going to tell you you need to post on stories every day. You need to post in your feed 2 to 3 times a week if you can. And they will also tell you to utilize some of the engagement features, whether that's going live so you can talk to people, or if it's the question sticker, or if it's the poll, you can add polls to your comment section now. So like adding a poll there, anything that will force people to engage with your post outside of just hitting the like button is the best thing you could do on Instagram because that's what's going to get you again pulled into the algorithm in the feed. Um, that's Instagram optimizations. And then TikTok, take a poll on what genre I am. Yes, you could do that. You definitely could do that. And I think the polls are like really cute and fun, a fun way to show like personality. Like I've seen artists be like, which outfit do you like for my photo shoot? Or, like which cover art, because artists are like into like having their fans in the process more now. So you could be like, uh, which picture do you think should be the cover art for the single, or which verse do you like the most? Should I finish this song type of thing? Is there a base number of slides? Um, I would say since they have 20 is the max, I would say 5 to 10 is like the good sweet spot. 5 to 10 is perfect. Um, so that's Instagram optimization. And also, because y'all are artists, please make what is it? Hold on. Let me pull up my Instagram real quick. It's called oh, they're always changing words on here, guys. Uh, Here it is. Broadcast channels. I don't know if Jazz has told y'all about the broadcast channels, but if you have a broadcast channel, use it. If you don't have it, make one. It's the best. Um, this is a digital marketing thing, but I know a lot of artists are into the text message blasts right now instead of email marketing, which honestly you should do both. But if you do not have the money to do text message blasts, because it can be expensive, um, the broadcast channel is the next best thing. It's an easy way to get all your information out and make your fans feel like you're giving something exclusive because it is exclusive. Like you have to join. Um, so those are the Instagram optimizations. TikTok optimizations. Jazz probably is better at this than I am, but like going live, posting like honestly every day if you can. Um Commenting back is very important. Um Also just a variety of posts, do videos and slideshows because they're also promoting the slideshow thing now, carousel thing. And then the most important thing that I think a lot of people are sleeping on is using their stories on TikTok. TikTok is actually boosting people that use their stories. So the more that you use that, the better off for you. Um, and then last but not least, Twitter and Threads. Um, since they're very similar, I'm combining them. But I suggest everybody to have at least one of the two platforms because conversation, word of mouth is your biggest form of marketing, and 9 times out of 10 is going to start on one of those two platforms. Um, Blue Sky too. Yeah, Blue Sky too. Um, but I think, you know, the point of those types of platforms is to one, add context. So if you can, you know, talk to people more directly, um, those platforms let you do that. But the optimization part, one, same as the others. Make sure you have all your links in your bios. Make sure you have a um border what did I just say? A header image on your profile with your artist branding. Make sure uh your profile photo is like recognizable. And it could be a cartoon for all I care. Rihanna has spent her whole career as a cartoon profile photo. But like as long as it's instantly recognizable with your brand, it needs to be that. Um and then the other thing is um bio, link, header, and then a pinned post. You need to pin something to your profile. I always recommend whatever is your best performing post today on Threads, Blue Sky, or Twitter. Pin that to the top of your profile because that's what's going to get people to come back to your page. Um, but the best way to optimize on those platforms, one, interact with the people that are talking about your music. And two, I would say also insert yourself a little bit in some like pop culture conversations. I think a lot of people underestimate the power of the pop culture conversation um, and how you can use that to your advantage. I know like I've seen artists be like, oh, this is my favorite song or whatever. Kaylani, for example, people have been replying to Kaylani all day long on threads with covers of Folded. That's like what started the cover challenge. You know what I'm saying? So like small things like that make a huge difference. Um, so those are my optimizations, and that's where we start. Start there. Make sure everything looks right. Make sure your profile photo is the same on everything. Make sure you have a header. Make sure all your links are up to date. Make sure your pinned posts are the ones that are actually relevant to whatever you are trying to promote. Okay, we finished that. All right, so now to the fun stuff. The fun stuff. Okay, so people love influencer marketing, but they also love content seeding. And I think people do not know the difference. So I'm going to explain to y'all what the difference is. Um, Influencer marketing is getting an influencer you like to make whatever content they normally make, but use your song in it in some creative way, form, or fashion. Content seeding, on the other hand, is when you're scrolling on Instagram or Twitter or Threads or Blue Sky and you see a spiritual word or a pop crave or the shade room posting about a new artist just dropped a song or so and so is so into this song. Um, that is not organic. I had to break it to y'all. That stuff is not organic. They somebody somewhere for the most part is paying for those posts. Every now and then it'll be organic and the person that is running the page will post the artist they like just because they like them, but um content seeding is indeed the blogs, the new age version of the blogs. Uh, and so people always ask me which is better. Like, should I be using the influencers or should I be using the content seeding? Um, should I be doing both? The answer is always going to be you should do both. But I personally feel like starting with influencers is better um, because you want those small pockets of communities to like your music. So if there's an influencer that does hair and they're always putting a pop song in the back, then hit them up and be like, hey, I love how you do hair. Maybe we can collab, whether it's you go get your hair done with them or you send them the song and be like, can you use this in one of your posts? Those types of things. That's really important. So that way you can touch different pockets. Like you can touch the hairstylist community. If you have a dancer you really like that you're cool with, you can touch the dance community. You could touch the I'm on coloring talk right now. You could touch the coloring community. Like whoever you want to like your music, you could touch these people by just reaching out to these influencers. For the most part, they're pretty chill. You said, how do you reach out and not seem creepy? Um, Well, I would start by like just trying to build an organic relationship before you even DM this person. So like if you see their content and you like it, like actually comment back on it. Be like, "Oh, that's fire," or "Oh, like I really love this thing. I love your song choice. I love your music taste." Small little comments like that. These people want to comment back. So like you build that relationship that way um and then you DM, you know what I'm saying, like get them to comment back to you, get them to comment back to you a couple different times and then DM. um but also do not start with like the biggest influencers either. I would start with the people that got like 10,000 followers or 20,000 followers because those people are just glad to be here, and that you saying you like their stuff will mean way more than you reaching out to an influencer that has like a million followers. That they're just gonna be like, I don't know you, I want some money. So that's kind of like how you balance that. Content seeding, on the other hand, I would use once you feel like you're starting to see something bubble. Um, so like for example, if you have a TikTok or Instagram reel that's starting to go a little crazier than you expected it to, that's when you start reaching out to the blogs and seeing if they'll be willing to post or if it fits their audience, that type of thing. Um, and then also like if you can, reach out for roundups. I know a lot of these blogs do like a weekly artist roundup. Um, and so you can be like, hey, like I think my music fits. I see you're really into El Mean right now. I think my music is very similar to his. Like if you're doing a roundup, would you consider um putting me in? And those pages reply back to artists. So that one's not as scary as hitting up an influencer.
Also, the content seeding, they're like, oh yeah, 250. Like, and these are pages with like a million people, right? As opposed to like an influencer who might try to charge you like $5,000 for a video because that's how much brands pay. And
Yeah,
that's their price.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely there's a give and take with both, right?
Yeah.
One seems more organic and you know what I'm saying, like the influencer, but again, you can get around paying that fee if you're actually a part of their community, actually a fan that they like
Yep.
vibe with. And you know what I'm saying? That's how kind of your network is your net worth. It's like, oh my gosh, they always comment on my stuff. They always are on my live. They're always so supportive. And don't do it like skeevy, like, oh, I'm just gonna like follow you for a month and then like ask you for this. It's like, no, bro. Like
Yeah.
you should be
Build
making a
a-
list of oh my God, did I take the words out of your mouth? Were you gonna say the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
thing?
no. It's just like build a genuine relationship with these people, and I promise you they will start just doing stuff. Like,
Yeah, without you even asking, they're just gonna start
yeah,
including you in roundups and stuff because they follow you and you're promoting your music and you've been, you know what I'm saying? Like
exactly. And
engaging with them.
I think I need to turn on the light. Hold on.
Yeah, it got so dark in like 2 seconds.
This is daylight savings for real. BRB. Hold on.
Oh yeah, it's 5 o'clock over there. Yeah, so it definitely got dark. But yeah, y'all, I feel like I have put this in some sort of like homework or something, but building a list of like influencers that are in your world, right? They don't have to also be artists who make music, but if you're like Amy Lynn and you make country pop, what do people who like country pop also like? They also like bourbon or they like, riding on ATVs or you know what I'm saying? So it's I'm sorry. But so influencers who do that kind of stuff, like they might want to use Amy's music, but she's also like a feminist and super empowering. Yes. So the people, right. I went way too country
It's a
there. I did.
fine line I walk. The
I know.
ATV crowd isn't always safe.
They're not. They're honestly not. And I went full country and then I forgot like your feminist empowerment like message in the music. So I was like, ah. But you see what I'm saying? Like the influencers and the worlds that are a part of your world and how they intermingle, like it doesn't have to be like super like oh you're in the R&B world. You do showcases or this and that. So I want to follow you. No, it's like do they crochet and always have bomb R&B songs and all of their crochet videos get hundreds of thousands of views? Boom.
Yeah.
Alignment, right? But anyways, okay. Jamila's back. I'm gonna shut up.
No, you're good. That's perfect. That kind of segues into the building community thing. But yeah, it's a combination of both. I think everybody should do a combination of influencer marketing and the content seeding, but just be mindful that like both can get expensive, like that's why it's better to build a relationship with an influencer first, or if you can, even build a relationship with some of these blogs first. Like, they don't always require money. Sometimes they just like your music and they want to post it. Um, but they will start charging you, especially if you want to hit multiple. I think a lot of people want to come out the gate and be on like 20 blogs at once, and like that's unrealistic. Maybe we start with like 3 to 5. Yes, let's see what you got. Um,
Oh my gosh,
do you
did
have any
Jamila
opinions
freeze
on the
for anybody
campaign
else
service
or is
like
it just
Google
me?
a suit? I mean, you can. Hello? Oh, it
It's
might be
me.
me. I just gotta. Oh, okay.
like my right when I said that, my computer was like, "Charge me, girl." I'm like, oh, "Okay, it's me." All right, sorry. I'm so sorry.
I've
Oh wait, no, Jamila, it's you. All like I think I didn't hear anything you said except I've never heard of Groover before. What does Groover do? So you're kind of, yeah, in and out.
Hello, can you
Did
hear
you
me?
move into a
I
different
just saw.
location?
No, I moved my laptop slightly to the left, and all of a sudden it's just chaos.
Yeah, keep
Okay.
it right there. Keep it right there. Don't move it. We can hear you
Um,
now.
okay. What's Groover? I've never heard of Groover before. Uh,
So
YouTube.
I've used they're kind of like Submit Hub. They have a lot of playlist curators and you can
Mhm.
campaign to them and like they're separate. Like Groover, you pay a small fee just to get them to listen, and if they choose you, then that's all you put in. But like Muso Soup is a little different where if they accept your song as being worthy of like campaigning, because I'm sure they get some interesting stuff, then they put it out there, and then blogs and websites and playlist curators approach you and say, well, for $5 I'll do a social media post, for $25 I'll do a review on your song.
Uh-huh.
It runs the gamut, and I've been
Oh.
using them because it does, I feel like it helps me to generate content for myself. Like it gives me something else to say. I'm not talking about myself. I can say, look, this person over here loved my song and this is what they had to say about it. So, but I'm just wondering, I don't know. I try to follow their numbers and say, like, how many followers does this person have? Does anybody go to their website? You know, what's the traffic? I try to follow the stats, but I'm just kind of like, some days I feel like, why am I doing this? I don't know.
Okay. I mean, honestly, that sounds really cool, and I want to look into this. Um, but I think, that could help. I feel like that's a launching pad, but also just having somebody that's like close to you or something that can scroll for you. So like honestly, somebody on your team just has to be a chronically online person. That's just kind of how the game is. And getting somebody that can be that person for you and kind of like scroll and see what makes sense, what would align with your brand more. I think that will help to supplement whatever Groover or Muso Soup is doing. Um, okay. We covered the influencer marketing content seeding. Um, and just a little bit before we move on to the community stuff is digital advertising. I know that digital advertising can be confusing and you don't know how much to spend, when to spend it, where to spend it. Um, so this is what I say. I say that digital advertising works. It does work. It does indeed work. But it needs to be in tandem with either your decision to go in on influencer marketing or content seeding. It can't just live in a silo by itself, um, because uh, the the Google ads and the Meta ads is looking for people that already engage or who could be your next target audience. So if you're not working on ways to also increase your audience outside of just your main platform, um, then the digital advertising is not really going to work. So if you're, I would say, spend most of your digital advertising money on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter threads. That's what I would spend most of it on. I know a lot of people will spend on YouTube, and I don't think spending on YouTube is a bad thing. But what I do think is a bad thing is when you spend a lot of money on YouTube and you end up having like 50,000 views and only 10 comments. That looks crazy. Like you cannot do that. It looks crazy. So,
So crazy. And that's the thing too, is like followers aren't fans. So having views doesn't matter if you can't get them to take an action. And if you're not connected to them, they're not, they have no interest in supporting you. So
yeah.
child. Okay, but I'm stepping in because we have 15 minutes left.
Yes.
Technically, this was supposed to be a 1 hour session. I know some folks might have other things to do. Listen, I was feeling it too. I'm checking in with y'all. I'm trying to see how y'all are doing. Okay, before Jamila gets on to step two or part two of the seminar, everybody's all right? Everybody's good? Okay, cool. Just
Cool.
checking on y'all. Right. Just wanted to see. Okay, great. And then Jamila, I want you to talk about building community, and then I want us to have like at least 30 minutes for questions. Um if y'all have questions, I don't know. Do you guys have any questions, or do you guys want Jamila to just keep going? Because she's hit about like
I'm done.
two, three. You've hit three out of like
Yeah.
seven topics that she wanted to share so far.
Yeah. Um, well, let's skip to the community part and then the other stuff kind of goes together.
Okay.
Um, so community stuff. Uh, there is so this is where my PM brain is starting to click in, right? Because digital marketing is only as good as the community you build. So, my goal always is to take the community that you're beginning to build on your socials and find ways to get them to meet you outside in real life where the sun is shining and the leaves are falling. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need them to come outside, go to a show, visit, buy some merch, all that kind of stuff. So in order to build your community, one, the community you've built, hopefully you are engaging with them. Engagement is so important. That's step one in building your community. Um, Engagement includes obviously replying to comments, doing polls and Q and A's, finding interesting ways to tell your story um, via, it could be TikTok, it could be Twitter or Threads, it could be in an IG Live. Just ways to tell a story about maybe how a song came about, how you became an artist, those types of things. And you take, oh, and the broadcast channel, guys. The broadcast channel is like top notch engagement if you can get people to sign up for it. Um, but you take all those fans that you've built from talking a lot on the internet and you ask them, like, hey, I have a project coming out or I have a single coming out. And I think it would be great if um, we could get, if I could gift, I don't know, 5 to 10 fans free tickets to come to a show, or if I can get y'all to come to this merch pop up because you saw some local stores doing collabs with indie artists. Like those types of things are really important. And I find that the best way to get people to come outside is a surprise and delight. I know a lot of people use that word, but it just means like, hey, this song I did just came out, and I'm going to use Victoria as an example. The song I did just came out. She had a song called Smoke with Lucky Day. It had just come out. We needed to gain some more momentum. And so we said, hey, let's do a 420 pop up because the song is about marijuana. And we posted literally 48 hours before, got a local dispensary to come up with um, smoke and Victoria Monet branded pre-rolls. And next thing you know, there's a line wrapped around the building of people that just want to come see her because they've been engaging with her over all this time. Um, yes, love Kelly Rowland. That would be fire on that song. And so, you know, surprise and delights are really fun because not only do you get to meet your fans in person, but you get a two for one, right? You get to meet the fans in person, but then you also get free marketing because those fans are going to come and they're going to recap everything that just happened on their social media, tag you, tag the song. So, I love a surprise and delight. You can turn a pop-up. How quick are the turnaround for a pop-up? I mean, I would say it takes about like, depending on what exactly your pop-up is, it should take you about a week to plan it and then maybe, announce it 24 to 48 hours before. And then that way people, it can get in the algorithm and people see it. And then that way you should for sure be able to have people pop out. And that's the type of thing I would spend a few ad dollars on if you want to. Just maybe like $20, over a 2 day period to get as many people as possible. That way it reaches all of like your mutuals and that type of thing. Um, I love a surprise and delight. I also love, um, like meet and greet situations that, start online. Somebody else just did a meet and greet, but this is because she's on tour. So this is another thing that you can do, like if you happen to be on the road or something. K1, she's been doing meet and greets at like little like local coffee shops just because she loves boba and matcha and stuff. So while she's on tour, she'll do like a hey. I know I sold out of tickets, or I know that I don't have enough meet and greets available for this stop. Like, I still want to meet you guys. Come meet me here before the show. Maybe I might have a few extra tickets. You never know. Like, just something like that. Um, and
Because we
even,
do always have extra tickets.
yes,
We
I
always,
do.
because we always have a guest list, so there's always tickets set on the side for the artist
Yes,
management. So
yes,
it
yes. Um, And the only other thing I would say outside of a surprise and delight that gets people outside quickly is like exclusive merch drops. Like if you can find a way to make an exclusive hat, hoodie, tote bag, I don't know, bubble gum. I made bubble gum for Victoria when we did On My Mama because the cover art is her blowing a big bubble. Like you can do any
Did
of
that
that.
go out? I've never saw that. And I'm a
Oh,
fan.
it went it did go out. It went out to college campuses. We did it on
Oh,
college
okay, okay.
campuses.
I was
Yeah.
like, that's what I was like. I didn't get that.
Yeah. She did like a couple of like homecoming shows, so we sent them with her when she did the homecoming shows, and that was really fun. Um, but yeah, you can do any of those types of things. And um there are two options here for that. You could either A, have people meet you to come get the merch, or B, you can make an activity out of it and do like a um, I hid a hoodie that has $20 in it at this location. First person to get it, like tag me and let me know. And that gets everybody outside trying to figure out what's going on. A person that I've worked with that did that really well, and she's not a huge artist at all by any means. Annie Tracy, she used to play basketball, and she started like whenever she's in a new city, she'll get a basketball and customize it because she's kind of an artist too. And she'll sign it and then she'll hide it in like a special place and send to her um, IG broadcast channel like, hey, I just want to thank y'all for supporting me. I'm in New York right now. I can't do a show, but I wanted to gift y'all with this exclusive thing. And now her fans are running around New York or Philly or wherever she's at to find this exclusive basketball. So like these are like small things that also like get the fans to one go outside for you, but two work together. Because they will work together to find said thing that you're hiding.
literally, my one of my clients who I just wrapped up with, her name is Maid Millie, and
Mhm.
she had these posters and on or like these little flyers and stuff where it said, "Sis, is this your man?" And the QR code was to her single. And so everybody was like like scanning it and posting it, being like, "She got me." Da, 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 da. And then she hid $100 behind one of the flyers as like a scavenger hunt to go do too. So even if you're not at the place where people are gonna drop what the fuck they're doing to go find your merch hidden in the city, you can still, as an independent and ascending, growing, rising artist, you can still use this in your pre-save campaign, like in different places of your marketing campaign. But the biggest thing is like building a community and getting them to be able to take an action. Because if you're willing to, you know what I'm saying, like find this $100 or scan this code and all of that, please stream a single when it comes out. That's nothing. That's light work. And if
Yeah.
that's all you got, you know what I'm saying? Like if that's all you asking me to do to support you, like that's such a easy ask when you have this kind of connection to your community.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, like I said at the beginning of everything, word of mouth marketing is the best marketing. I don't care what anybody says. The whole point of all of this is so we can get somebody to tell their friend to tell their friend to tell their friend to listen to you or to go to your show or to watch your video. So these moments where you can translate the community you built online to something outside in the real world is so key and so important because those super fans are the ones that's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Like, I have witnessed the super fans go from just being somebody that's always in the comments or DMing back or whatever to being the same people that once the debut album finally comes out, they're hosting a streaming party so you can get the streaming numbers up, or they're trying to have like a LA is really popular right now to do like vinyl parties where like they'll play an album on the vinyl the whole night long. So like DJs will just, oh, I really love this artist. I've been in their community for so long. I'm gonna throw a party and we're gonna listen to, I don't know, Leon Thomas all night long with this one vinyl. So like those types of things are what gets stuff going for you. So it's like free marketing. Like the goal at the end of the day is always to find ways to scam into some free marketing. Okay. That is the goal.
Or like I say, guerrilla marketing, your guerrilla
Yes.
marketing team, which is like they're getting it out the mud, doing it however, it's not
Yes.
like traditional marketing.
Yes. And then like the only other thing that like this might be illegal. So don't quote me on this if you talk to somebody about it. But you know, get it. Nothing is wrong with making stickers, posters, whatever, spray painting the sidewalk. You can do that yourself. Labels pay for that, but you can do that yourself. Just don't get caught. You know, I didn't tell you to do it, but if you, it costs like I don't know, $50 to make 300 stickers or something. Yeah, to make some stickers, send them to your friends in different cities and make them slap them on some street poles. Nobody will know the difference. Okay? Like that's also marketing and that's also a way to get people to take a photo and be like, "Oh, I saw this artist. I'm gonna tag them on social media." So, because I love this song, those things all make a difference. Um, hey, I've done it before, didn't get caught, so that's all I'm saying. Uh, and
No face.
then
Okay, the way that y'all were all ready to go out and do some illegal actions, I should have paused the recording. The comments were ready. I love this. I have the best community. I love
um, you gotta think. I love the question of the ROI. So here's the thing. The thing about advertising is you can't see it until you see it. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I would suggest, especially since you live in a small town, ROI means return on investment. So let's say you spend $100 on something, are you going to get $100 back plus some? Yes and no, because impressions in the music industry and any industry that's selling the product is almost more important than um the actual sale from the first start, right? Because the science is somebody has to see something at least 5 times before they actually like click, right? So a sticker here, a TikTok there, an influencer here, a content seeding campaign there. Once they see it about 5 times, they're probably going to be like, all right, let me check it out. So you can get a return on investment, but you can't track the stickers and posters thing. You can track digital advertising, you can track influencers, and you can track um what's the other thing? Content seeding too, a little bit. Not always, but a little bit. You could track all those things. But that IRL stuff, the stuff that's outside that you can touch and is tangible, it is hard to track that. But please know that people seeing it does make a difference. Because you as an individual, if you stop and you see a restaurant and you pass by that restaurant 5 times, eventually you're going to stop and see what they got in the restaurant. So it's the same concept with the posters and everything else. Um, so that is community building IRL and on the internet. Like you just got to take the community you build and be like, "Hey, I want to be with y'all outside too." Now, unless you're like super like anxious, then that's another thing. But um billboards. Billboards, I like billboards. I think billboards can be a cool marketing tool, but they are so expensive that I don't think it's worth racking your brain around it at all.
Like $15,000 for a week, expensive.
Yes, they're extremely expensive. The only thing that, like, to be completely honest with you, music wise, the only billboards that actually like really move the needle is one right before you're about to drop an album, or two, Coachella. Those are like the only two moments where the billboards actually make sense. Like when Drake did the whole like certified lover boy in different cities, like that was cool marketing, but he's also Drake. So, you got to work your way to the billboards. I wouldn't start with that out the bit. Absolutely not. Um, yeah, no. Um, and then, so that's the community stuff. I want to talk quickly on content creation tips and tricks, and then we'll just go to social posting burnout. So, for tips and tricks on content creation, one, and I'm sure Jazz has probably talked about this a bit, but one, lighting needs to be very good. Um, just clear. Like I need to be able to see you or whatever it is you're trying to show me. Um, Two, content creation. I would never, especially music related content, I wouldn't have a video more than 1 to 3 minutes. Really, no more than 1 minute, but I could see if you're doing a story time, you need an extra couple minutes. That's fine. Um, and then also, I would say on your content, just make sure that all of your content matches your branding. So, content creation and branding goes hand in hand. So, if you're I'm gonna use Victoria because she's just easy for me. If your brand is soft life, my favorite color is brown, I got a child, and I write my ass off, then all of your content should be in that pocket. There's every outfit needs to be brown. Every like graphic needs to have an element of brown in it. If the child is important to you and telling your story about how you create music, show the child in a musical element. Like Victoria shows her baby when she's like in the studio or when the baby is singing to her or stuff like that. Like that's still music related, but it's also showing her personality. Um, and then the other thing would be just like, you know, I think the one thing Victoria doesn't get right is she just we I think the average fan, unless you're like a super fan, like one of us in this room, like I feel like the average fan doesn't really know who she is or like what her personality is night. And so that's something that was an uphill battle for me, and it still is an uphill battle for her, is trying to clarify who you are as a person. Um, because here's the thing, artists become poppin' through various ways. And Victoria became poppin' as being a songwriter. So a lot of people just associate her with Ariana and all these other people she's worked with, whereas there is space for her to separate herself and tell us who she is, how she got here. Like, why are you making this type of R&B music? Because she's known for writing pop songs, so like this R&B music is very different for her. Um, for her, I don't think it's intentional. I think she just is shy, and and nothing wrong with being shy, but in a music market where your story and your personality sells your music just as much as the music itself, that's where she's losing a bit of the momentum she had. Like her announcing, I'm talking about Victoria like y'all all follow her, but she just announced that she is in cooking school right now and she's trying to be that. Like that is the first time that I seen some personality from this lady. Like I know she likes to cook, but like the fact that she was able to be like, "Hey, this is something I'm working on while I'm working on my album," that's a new thing for you to latch on to. And um, those types of things make a difference. I don't think as an artist you should be telling all of your business at all by any means, but I do think you should be giving some extra branches to your personality outside of just the music. Like, how did we get here? Like, people still don't know that that lady started in a girl group and before that she was in a dance crew. Like, nobody knows that. But these are things that she could touch on, like when she posts photos with her and Jaquel Knight or her and Sean Bankhead. She could talk about her roots and how she met them that early. Like she met them when she was a teenager in dance crews. So like these are things that like add the context to you why a fan should continue to care. Because some people don't care just about the music. Some people care about the fashion. Some people care about is she a family woman. Some people care about like the music nerd stuff of like how she ended up with D Mile. Like those things all matter. You think the interviewers are asking her the same questions? I don't think the interviewers are asking her the same questions. I think she uh tries to avoid certain topics. Uh, and this is just between us, but I think she like uh it's just she does not like being perceived like the rest of us. And I think that that like little bit of fear is what stops her from showing a little bit more because when you look at her, she's somebody that will spend a lot of time being like, well, why don't I have, you know, why isn't my community like Dochi's community or Megan Thee Stallion's community or whatever she's trying to build? And I think a lot of that has to do with Meg and Dochi like shared themselves as a full human, well-rounded human. Whereas Victoria just shows the perfectionist side of her, which is cool. But, even Beyonce early on, who she's trying to emulate at some point, like showed us her personality. Like we know the little funny things Beyonce did back in the day. So like these are the moments where Victoria can show us that before she gets too like out of reach. Um
I think it's also something to note that Victoria has been in the game for a really long time, even though she's just getting her time, in the spotlight. She comes from a time where you didn't do that, where
yeah.
the labels told you not to share yourself, not to share, oh, that's ghetto, don't do that, da 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 da. I know so many artists who are struggling right now because of how the music industry made them change. And now it's cool to be yourself. They don't know who they are anymore. They can't share that narrative. Or like Victoria, she knows herself, but she was told a really long time ago, you don't share that, you
Yep.
share this. And so it's hard for her to be herself because
Yeah.
she built this polished image that is so beautiful that it's like, how do I be my, I don't know how to, I just know how to be myself. I don't know how to be myself and work it into this career. And there's, even if you're not a successful artist, if you've been an artist for a super long time, I've worked with, emerging artists who struggle with the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
so
I
yeah,
mean, I think it's not like Jazz said, I don't think it's specific to just her. I think a lot of artists have that struggle because we're seeing in real time like the artists that are becoming more popular currently are the same ones that are willing to show a little bit more of their personality, a little bit more of their process, a little bit more of what's important to them. And that's something that other artists are like trying to figure out how to fit it in. So it is a learning curve, I think, but I always like to remind people like when you start getting in your head, just think about the fact that social media literally has the word social in it. You're meant to be social and interact and engage. So don't think too hard about it. If you think it's funny, your friends and your fans will probably think it's funny too. If you think this is a cool moment, they probably will think it's a cool moment too. Um, so just take a sec to woo-saw, breathe, and like, you know, you can do it. And if the post doesn't do as well as you want or you don't like it, you're still at the phase where you can delete it and try again. And no harm, no foul. You know, all artists do that. Even the big artists do that. So like, don't feel bad that like you posted something that you thought was cool and maybe it's not. But that's okay. That's okay. Also, if you want, I suggest making a little Finsta for like your close friends and your team to like just see if they like the content before you even post it on your main page. Just, test it out, test the waters, see what's going on there. Um, so that I feel like that was me talking about content creation and like stuff to think about when you're making it. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the actual content itself, you just need to make sure the lighting is good, you are clear in what you are saying or doing, and that the video is not too long. Unfortunately, everybody has a short attention span. I do love a long form video though, but only on YouTube. I don't want to see it nowhere else. Just on YouTube. That's it. And on YouTube, it shouldn't be no more than like 5 minutes, if we're being honest. Like, cut yourself at 5 minutes, six max. Okay. Um, and that's for like story times or like behind the scenes because there is a hunger for, how did you come up with the song? How did we make the video? How did the photo shoot happen? Like there is a hunger for that. People love, what was the show on MTV? I'm old. It was called like Behind the Video. Behind, you know what I'm talking
making
about?
the video.
Yes.
It was yeah, behind the music. It was not VHS. What the frick am I saying? The other
One.
VH1, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yes.
menopause. Yeah, behind the music where they told all the stories. Oh God, yeah, that was huge. And
Yeah.
I miss pop-up video. I miss
Oh,
pop-up video so much.
Same. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Uh,
Listen, I know that when they had physical media of stuff like this, nobody was thinking to buy that all. But now, imagine if you had like some of these shows like on DVD sets. You can't find them nowhere in streaming. Oh, so great.
nope.
Anyways.
So that's like my 2 cents there. It's just like content creation, just keep it fun and authentic, but also clear. Like the most important part of everything is just like how you look in the video. And it could be the simplest thing. Like you could be sitting at the park and singing on a picnic blanket. That's the simplest concept. You just got to make sure the video looks clear. Like make sure camera's on 4K. Make sure that you got like all the settings right, that you're centered. Press play and then, good to go. Um and then last but not least is the social posting burnout. I know social media posting is exhausting. As someone that personally does not like to post on social media too much, I fully understand. Um, but I think the way to like balance that is just to take breaks. Like sometimes you just have to force yourself to take a 2 week break, 3 week break, a month break if you need it. Um, because at the end of the day, you are an artist and you are not an influencer. So there is no pressure for you to be posting a new video every single day if you don't have anything new out or if you are not like in the process of something. Sometimes you just need to breathe and you need to stop doom scrolling. So, um a social media break is important, but I would say do it like at the end of your like whenever you deem you're done promoting said song, project, tour, whatever it is you're doing. So like if an album came out in I don't know, November, since it's November, and you spent the whole year promoting it. You've been doing your Instagram stories every day. You've been doing your TikToks and your IG Reels and your YouTube Shorts 2 to 3 times a week or however long you've been doing it. Like after about a year, honestly, 7 months, but a year, I think a year, but 7 months, I feel like uh 7 months, you kind of just stop and you take a second, take a month to like be like, all right, I need to disappear for a second. Honestly, the best time to disappear is the holidays, if I'm being honest. But I didn't say that. You didn't hear that from me. I'm just saying if you need a second where everybody is focused on 5 million other things, the holidays is a great time to take a break because everybody's just focused on Black Friday, their family, and whatever new movie is coming out. Yeah, unless you're Mariah Carey, of course. um, so I always suggest taking a break. I just don't suggest doing it when you're in the midst of a rollout. I've worked with a lot of artists that we start a rollout for a single, an album, an EP, a mixtape, and then 4 weeks in, they're like, yeah, I'm tired of posting. And I don't want to announce the album until like 2 days before it comes out. It's like, no, no. we gotta keep the momentum going. Even if you need to just batch make content and put it in a Google Drive folder or a Dropbox folder and just like release it a couple times a week. Um, I would say do that. Just number one, do not take a break during the middle of the rollout because then it looks so sloppy and we don't want sloppy at all. You want to look like you are in the midst of creating the best thing you've ever created. You are chefing it up in the kitchen and it needs to be some new content every week, whether it's photos, videos, you in the studio, you creating the music video, like whatever it is. And I don't even think music videos are that important. But you just need to be performing. I think that's the number one thing that artists forget is the content needs to be of you performing. Like, dude, I want to see you singing or rapping or playing the piano or whatever it is that you do. I want to see that because that helps me determine if I want to buy a ticket to the show, if I'm being honest. Like I can't tell if you're going to be interesting live if you can't do a 30-second TikTok of you performing. That's very important. Um, so yeah. That is kind of like my social media breakdown, but also how to bring it into real life. All of these things are important. All of these things work in tandem with each other, and uh you just need all of it, but you don't need to go ham with it immediately. You know what I'm saying? Ease your way into it, like drip coffee. Just let it do its thing. Because you know you need the surprise and delights. You need the influencers. You need the content seeding. You need the digital advertising. You need the clear and consistent content. But just do it, like easily feed it to us. Give us the appetizer, then the entree and the sides and the dessert and everything. Like we need all of it. Okay, you need every single part. I don't think that one is more important than the other. I just think it all uh, goes together like the perfect puzzle. So I hope all of that helped.
It does. Oh my gosh, girl. This was so good. This was so good. I'm happy that you came in here, you shared your expertise with us. I feel like you put them onto so many gems from a different perspective. Definitely a different perspective than me. So don't feel like, oh, Jazz is said no, I did not say all of this already. You came with, like your own gems. These were such great tips. I'm so happy to have it. And so happy that all of you guys were able to see her today. Jamila is actually going to be partnering with me. We haven't announced it yet. You guys are the first to hear. But Jamila, now that she is no longer tied to the major label system, she's able to do independent projects. So me and her will be partnering together to help artists grow in the new so I'm really excited. It's like a brand new partnership that we are doing, where we get to, just what I do, but except now I get to do it with Jamila and do it even better because she has a whole different perspective, point of view. So we'll be able to build campaigns together and do what we do best, which is supporting artists and helping them grow.
Yes, that's my favorite thing. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. I love jazz. And this was really fun. So I'm glad y'all asked some good questions.
Yes, yes. So I don't know how I'll like include her in ICI, but I definitely know we're going to be working together in the new year. And for all of you insiders, please run to Discord. I told you guys we're doing a challenge in December, and I have just posted what we are doing this week to prep for that challenge. Because if you know me, we don't do nothing, we're not just starting on challenge day. We got to get ready, right? So um, Discord has been silent, and that's because I have not been doing anything on there. We gonna get a lot louder in December because that's where we're not gonna have the Zoom sessions. We will do office hours on Discord because there's also a video chat on Discord. So I will just jump on. Y'all can just ask your questions, all of that great stuff. Okay, Robin, what's up?
Oh, are we still doing quick questions?
It's gotta be quick because I have a
Okay.
call at 3:30. So
Ooh, okay. Okay. I have the same problem as Victoria where it's pretty, it's perfect, it is I's crossed, T's dotted, whatever. Um, what tips did you give Ari up to Ari? Oh my God. What I just saw Wicked. Um, what tips did you give Victoria to kind of coach her out of that, even though she's still dealing with that?
I mean, I for her specifically, one, the surprise and delights helped a lot. So we got a lot of content out of that. But two, um, I leaned on what I knew she already showed personality in, which was those skits. I don't know if you remember, she did a lot of skits during Jaguar 1 and Jaguar 2. So I said, let's start with that. Let's remind people that you have a personality and you are funny. And then we honestly used a lot of press to help kind of show her um personality because she was struggling with it on socials. Um but to like really help her, it was more like, "Hey, I love this. We just shot this thing for I don't know, Billboard, you should post this clip with you and your daughter." Like those types of small little moments, I just remind her of all the time in real time. And honestly, I kind of just like drilled it into her manager's head too. Like, hey, if y'all are doing something and it's cute and you think people will like it, make sure you capture it and post it on socials. So that was the thing um, that really helped. But like anything you could think of, whether it's, um, you know, just little cute photos, little cute selfies, you with your friends, like those little small details make a world of a difference.
All right, cool. Well, okay, you guys, I'm sorry to be the one that has to shut the party down. Y'all ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get up out of here. So I will see you on Discord. Thank you guys all so much. And you will see more of Jamila. She'll be joining me like on my TikTok live streams and stuff too. So you're definitely going to be seeing more of Jamila in the No Conformity universe. So, so excited. Alrighty. Bye, you guys. Until next time, just stay tapped in and go see what's up on the Discord, okay?
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.